All right, welcome to the pod. Hey, the topic is why do we drink?
Ooh, alcohol.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's implied, isn't it? Most people would know
Yep.
we were referring to alcohol.
I reckon.
Because it's not like you could live your life just not having fluid.
That's right, you die.
Yeah.
So I think we can answer that question pretty quickly, why we
Good.
drink, if it was just fluid in general. But we will get to that, why we drink.
Yeah.
Before then, any corrections from last week? I'd like to throw the floor open.
Oh,
You have got one. Yes.
Do I? What was last week? Remind me.
That is a very good question. Lucy, what was last week?
Emotions after fights / criticism of partner.
Oh, that was part 3 of that.
2.
Part 2.
Part 2. Did I have a correction?
No, you just looked like you had one. You were
Oh,
like,
no. I lit up trying to think about what our last outstanding podcast was. But no, I don't think there's any corrections from my end.
Maybe a slight correction is the fact that we did say that we were going to be doing something else now, but we're not.
Oh, yeah, that is true. Yeah.
It was a slight pivot.
So what we suggested at the end of last pod that we were going to do, how should you best communicate that you're not going well to your partner? Or what's the easiest way to communicate that you're not going well to your partner?
Yeah. Or how do you get a man to communicate that he's not going well?
Generally speaking, it's the men that are bad at this.
Yeah. And
Anyway,
there's a world of chat there.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Nah, I'll wrap it up now. Text works well, I reckon. Don't jump straight to face. We don't need 45 minutes to discuss that.
Face to face is a nightmare. Tick, done.
Awesome. If you don't have a phone, write a letter.
Yeah, or shoulder to shoulder. Go and do an activity with them. Go for a walk.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to do.
Boom. Solved.
Bang.
Tick.
Knock it off. So I was trying to think about the fact that we've done a topic piv here.
Yeah.
And I was like trying to decide whether that would be a happy surprise or a bad surprise.
What do you mean?
Well, like if you go and get something from the shop and you think you're getting one thing, but then you go home and get the other thing, generally speaking, that's a bad thing.
No way. That's the dream. That's how life should be lived. The plan is always the worst case scenario.
No, disagree. I went to Bunnings 4 times 2 weekends ago.
Oh, but Bunnings, there is a set mission there. Like you're in the middle of a DIY.
That's what I'm
or something,
talking about.
right?
People are dialing in going like, oh, I can't wait to hear you guys talk about how do I get my partner to talk more.
Mm.
And that's their set mission, and then we've rocked up and done something else.
Yeah, fair point.
That would be annoying.
Let's go back to Bunnings, though. Okay, so say, what were you doing? What were you DIYing?
Oh, we built some shelving down the side of the house.
Okay, so you're going to Bunnings to get particular screws or nails, right? Or wood.
Shelving.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, let's live in the world, though, where you go to Bunnings and then you see, like, a small, like a slide, like a really fun-looking slide, and it's on sale.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue that if you go for the slide and then get home and just have a fun afternoon with the slide, that is a far better experience than if you just lived the day that you thought you were going to live.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. But
so I think to my point, then
Yeah.
people coming to this podcast expecting to hear, how do I best communicate my feelings to my partner? They're now here, welcome, and they're going, this is exciting. This feels live.
Yeah, it could be.
You guys are going crazy.
Yeah.
You're just doing this mad pivot.
Could be
and
that.
I'm here for the journey.
Could be that.
And if you disagree with me,
Yeah.
get in touch. And then I tell you what, we will do that topic.
Okay.
Because you can always go back to Bunnings to get the shelves, is what I'm saying.
You can. I do feel a bit for the people at Bunnings, though. Like, I was thinking at the time, like, gee whiz, these guys, surely...
Okay, that's weird. The noise just... Oh, yeah.
Did the heater turn off?
Yeah.
So
it's
it
a
was the heater.
Yeah, but we all...
Honestly, I thought I was losing my mind for a second there.
You did look a bit glassy-eyed.
I know, seriously. Like I told you, because I microdosed today, and occasionally, you just like, generally speaking, it's a lovely experience, opens your neural pathways, etc. But occasionally there are things where you're just like, gee whiz, that's coming in hot, and I don't know what's happening there.
I think you need a more stringent process around your microdosing
What
habits.
do you mean?
Like, I'm just saying, like, when you microdose, I'm so supportive of it because you are a great person when
Thank
you
you.
dose stuff.
Thank you. Well, not dose stuff. Don't say it like that. It's not
I'd
like
be
I'm taking-
keen on a daily dosing for you.
Well,
You're more
every
fun.
second day is often if I'm on a program.
Well, we need to hang out every second day then, because I don't want to be on sober will days. But what I'm saying is that
it does get a bit frustrating
there's been
sometimes.
too many scenarios, or too many situations with you where you go, oh, might have microdosed a bit too much. I'm like, what sort of program are you running here? Like, if you've got what utensil are you using?
It's really hard to find the right dosage, and also because it's not regulated in Australia, so you're not going to the shop going. It's not when you get a prescription pill, right? And you're like, oh, cool, I'm going to get 5 milligrams of this. I'm going to have it every day.
Yeah.
This is like, well, what I'm using at the moment is some caps that somebody's made for me.
Oh my God.
Which are like with a very, very small amount of psilocybin mushrooms in them. And yeah, I mean, like at the end of the day, it's just a guy putting dried mushrooms in a cap. So like, so it's not like it's, you know.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, ordinarily when we were getting them from Amsterdam, which is what I was using previously when we were using, because it is regulated there, which is wonderful.
Because that was a dropper.
We had a dropper. See, but we also had some truffles and we had a little scale. So I literally knew like if I have
truffles.
Yeah, truffles.
Like the pigs sniff out.
Yeah, they're the so truffles are the root that the mushroom grows out of.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
So we'd have little scales, so I could measure out 25 milligrams on the scale.
Oh.
And I knew exactly how many I was taking. But these caps, sometimes you get a heavy cap, sometimes you get a weak cap.
Yeah. Okay. Oh well, there's nothing you can do about that.
A little bit like a cafe. Like
strong
some
coffee.
cafes
have
stronger coffee than others.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I just don't know.
Right. And do you think the guy who's but
I also think that that's part of the process a little bit. Like if you're gonna microdose, the whole point of it really is that there's a sense of surrender.
Right.
So if you get too caught up in like, oh my God, I've had too much.
Yeah. Right.
That's when it can start to head south.
God, I just reckon I would end up nude in a water fountain somewhere.
It's not that.
No, but you know what I'm like.
I didn't disperse a few myths around microdosing. It's really not that strong. It's very much background noise. It's just sometimes there are things that make you notice that you have microdosed. Largely like
the sound of a heater.
Well, noises and things that are like, just slightly off. You're like, whoa, what is going on there? Or the other example that I often use when people ask me about microdosing is someone that you dislike.
Oh, yeah, right.
You have I don't know if anyone's ever listening or watching has ever used psychedelics before. Did you just kick the camera, Charlie? I saw that, mate. If anyone's ever done psychedelics before, if you run into someone that you don't like or who you have quite like you're triggered by them in some way, they make you feel like you can't be yourself. You have quite a visceral reaction to them, and you're like, oh God, I can't be around that person. You know, you're like, that person's weirding me out, or I can't be around them.
Oh, that'd be so confronting.
You feel that really subtly when you microdose, which is actually great about it, because I mean, I think one of the great reasons to microdose is to help you better understand your mind, because you lie to yourself so much about the things that are good for you and what you want to do.
Yes.
And as we've discussed ad nauseum on this podcast, I find it very hard to differentiate between what I want to do and what I need to do. That's very hard for me.
Yes.
When I microdose, that is so easy.
Yeah,
because I have a reaction.
Yes.
I have like a I feel it. I feel it in my gut when I go and do something that I don't want to do, that I feel like I need to do. I notice it straight away. I'm like, oh, I don't actually want to do this, or I don't actually want to be around that person.
Yes.
And I know very, very easily. So,
but to my point about going for a swim nude in a water fountain, like I'm already on, like, sometimes I'm just balancing on the edge of like whether that's a good idea or not.
Yeah, look, I don't think it's for everyone.
Yeah. That's all I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
Although I still think that you have a very weak form of ADHD, and Sem takes.
How dare you?
A lot of people have ADHD. How dare you?
But don't you sit over
don't be
there
so precious.
and you bloody...
Don't be so precious.
You diagnose me
this
over there,
mate,
you
come
bastard.
on, mate. Come on.
How
come
dare
on.
you?
No, come on.
How dare
no,
you?
come on.
I wasn't getting distracted by the heater. I was focused. I was locked in, baby.
Mate, come on. We're in the vulnerable coffee house here.
No, yeah. Fair enough.
So, you know.
I think mild was nice.
Yeah, you got a very mild form of ADHD, I think. And I think that Sem, for example, when she microdoses, it helps with her concentration for her ADHD massively. Way more so than the prescription drugs do, where she's like, whoa, that's way too full on.
This shouldn't be
the
just
microdosing, she's like, this is beautiful. I've got my concentration back, got a bit of energy.
This won't be an hour of us just going through our drug cabinets, but I'm currently on a...
It's a good pod. What's in your drug cabinet?
On a cocktail of...
There we go. Here we go. This is all above board, by the way.
Well, mine is. Mine's regulated. I'm on a cocktail of yerba mate, which is an Argentinian tea, which is very high in caffeine.
Yeah.
And a drug.
I can tell because your leg shakes when you heard yerba mate.
And, well, so what's happening right now in my body is that I've got two things at play.
Yeah.
I've got the yerba, which gets me up and about, right?
Oh
but see, the problem, the aforementioned mild ADHD can go through the roof a little bit there, right? Because it's like we're firing. We're firing from all cylinders.
Yeah. So you do admit it. Mild form.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Yeah. So everything's a scale. I was just mucking around before.
Okay.
But I couple that with a I don't know if you call it a drug.
Supplement?
Yeah, supplement's a nice word. L-theanine, which effectively is...
Sounds like a character from Lord of the Rings.
It does a bit, doesn't it? Yeah, and I like to think of it that way. You know, I send him in. Send in the Lord of the Rings character, do your thing. And basically, he activates a neurotransmitter in my brain, which releases GABA, which is like this amniobutyric acid. Anyway, that makes me calm and focused.
What do you need to tell yourself, mate? You may as well be.
Mate, you should try it. It's unbelievable because you're pumped and you're energetic, but you've got tunnel vision. It's the best. I've never felt so good.
It's so terrifying.
I've never felt so good.
You really sound like a drug addict. And that is actually a very, very good segue into the topic because you got a problem with alcohol as well.
Oh, well done. No, I don't agree with that, but good segue.
Let's get into it. All right.
I think the idea of why we drink, for me, it goes into two groups.
Okay, nice.
One group is to deal with social anxiety, I think.
Nice. Yeah.
There's a saying, I need a little bit of liquid courage.
Yeah. Have you got mezcal in that drink right now?
Only a nip.
You literally said I need a bit of liquid courage and then you took a solid gulp from your
only a nip.
From your thermos.
Only a nip. Excuse me. So
Jesus, can I smell that?
Yeah, sure. It's yerba mate, mate. That's from Argentina. So I get this stuff delivered from Argentina.
It's about to make you pass out.
Have a sip.
I don't want to sip that.
Fair enough. You couldn't handle it.
That is so full on.
Some people can't handle the
mate.
mate.
I don't know what yerba mate is. It's that like...
You can look it up. Lionel Messi drinks it.
I'm sure he does, mate. He's Argentinian. It's that like cup, that steel cup they all have with the straw that comes out of it.
Yeah, I don't do it the official way. It's far too much effort for me. Anyway, so there's one side of it which is like dealing with social anxiety. You feel nervous about the fact of, you've got to socialise with a whole bunch of people. And alcohol can definitely suppress some of that and make you feel more comfortable. And then I think the other side of it is if you drink alcohol, it's easier to access that silly fun space. That's what I've kind of broken it down into.
Nice.
And the only reason I have a pretty solid answer to that is because I had 6 months of no alcohol.
Yeah, it's good for you to study that.
And one of the main, I think, learnings from that and one of the main drivers behind that was, why do I drink? Why? Because I think since the age of, let's say 16, I think you just get to 16 and you're like, the thing to do on the weekend is to drink. Drinking alcohol is cool and everyone's drinking alcohol and that's just what I want to do. And you don't really ever stop and ask yourself why you want to do that.
No, that's right.
At 16.
I think particularly as a guy as well, I think Tim Winton said in Australia there are two rituals that define whether or not you're a man: getting your driver's license and getting blind drunk.
Bang. Winton, he's good.
He is good, yeah.
He's good. Yeah. So anyway, you start at 16 and that's just the thing, right? And then you forge these relationships with all these people, probably around the consumption of alcohol in social settings, right? So, and then all of a sudden you're in your 20s and you're still kind of doing the thing that you were doing at high school, right? You're drinking on the weekend and that is socializing. And I think...
that's just part of it.
Once you start getting older, and then I think naturally you get a little bit more curious and you're like, why am I stuck in this pattern?
Yeah.
And why am I doing this?
Yeah.
So anyway, by removing alcohol, I was able to kind of like have a step back and go like, what am I missing by not drinking? And anyway, those are the two things that kept coming up for me.
Yeah.
It was, it can make you feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
And then the other side of it is sometimes it is just bloody nice to have responsibly a bit of alcohol with an adult friend and just get very silly.
Yep, couldn't agree more. Yeah, I agree with you. I reckon that you can distill those two things down to one thing, which might get a bit more serious, but I think is very true about the drug, which is that what alcohol really does is it is relief from the thoughts that you don't want to confront.
Oh, yeah. It can silence any stresses or concerns that you've got going on in your life, for sure.
And I mean, it's like any addiction, really. What it is it's something that you rely on because you're dissatisfied with the narrative of your life at that time.
Whoa. Gee whiz. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've been thinking about this, like...
Jesus. I mean, that's for everyone who drinks alcohol. They're dissatisfied with their life.
I think so, because like ultimately...
Unhealthily drinking? You're dissatisfied, or just drinking? Like Cheryl, drinking is very popular. I don't think there's that many people that are dissatisfied with their lives, are there? God.
Well, if you think about drinking in like let's just take it in the social context, right?
Yeah,
I know that might sound a bit heavy. Well, let's say if you are drinking by yourself, significantly, then I reckon that's probably a good indication that you're not liking what's going on there. You're trying to silence your thoughts.
Yeah, I think if once you're into unhealthy amounts of alcohol, I couldn't
or
agree
unhealthy
with you more.
amounts of anything. But let's even take the social scenario, right? So, I only had a month off drinking. I couldn't do the 6 months that you did. But I think I realized in the social settings, I avoided social settings for 2 weeks because I couldn't do it.
Yeah, really?
Well, not going out for a drink, going out for dinner, where other people were drinking around me, particularly if there was more than one person.
Yeah.
It really got to a point where I was like, I haven't got the strength to confront that.
Oh,
so I think realizing I know dissatisfied with your own life is probably a bit strong, but I don't think it's untrue, because basically what you're saying is I'm not comfortable with the person that I'm going to be in this scenario if I'm sober.
Oh, that I agree with, definitely. Yeah.
So,
you think you'll be more entertaining, you'll be more engaging, you'll be more fun.
Yeah. You're going to be a more desirable person to hang out with. And if you think about, what's the worst social gathering you can go to?
For me?
Yeah.
Anything that's loud or too crowded.
Sure. Or, for example, wake at a funeral.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Those sorts of things. What's the first thing people do when they get in the door there?
Have a drink.
Fucking oath it is.
Yeah.
Or, we've spoken before on podcasts about weddings.
Oh, yeah.
Once the ceremony's done, everyone's just like, I am jonesing for a drink because I know that I've got to have conversations with people here.
I can't get through this small
talk.
That
I don't want to do because I either don't like them, I don't like the fact that they're in my life, or I don't like the person I've got to become when I'm around them. So I would rather just dull that with whatever I can here.
I had a wedding within the 6 months. It was Leggy's
That's
wedding.
Right. Well, you're the celebrant.
I was celebrant, and
so I hope you weren't drinking mezcal out of your coffee cup before that.
Every other wedding I've done, I was pretty much half cut by the time I got over there. No, that is a joke.
Is that the celebrant there?
You know, it's interesting.
Barely getting out of his car.
Do you know, as a celebrant, there's a little fun fact for you. Yeah. So, it's kind of on me. Yeah. The responsibility is on my shoulders to make sure that the bride and groom are not intoxicated.
Yes.
That's
not surprising. That's right. Yeah.
But, I genuinely, when I have a chat to them, an hour before the ceremony where I'm just like, how you feeling, I am assessing how many drinks they've had.
No shit.
Because if I continue a formal marriage and I know that the groom was half cut, he was drunk, that's on me. Because I should not have allowed that to happen because he was not in a position to engage and enter into a legal agreement such as a marriage.
That makes total sense. Yeah. Are they assessing you at the same time as well?
Luckily, no.
Oh, guys, first I'm just going to check if you...
No, there must be a rule on that.
You're actually in love.
There must be a rule on that. But what I found about the wedding, though, is so the small talk by that stage...
I also find that really, really interesting.
What's that?
Well, again, it's like this willingness to engage with the narrative of your life is sometimes really, really scary because it's confronting, because that's what alcohol's so good for, is diminishing your inhibitions. Dulling your inhibitions and making you feel more relaxed because it quietens your mind, right?
Yeah.
So it's scary to think that, like, before a wedding, for example, before you get engaged or before you get married to the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, that the first thing that a lot of people want to do is have a couple of drinks because it's scary.
Yeah.
Like that, and I think this is I mean, you can replace alcohol there, if we're talking in an addiction sense. You can replace that with anything.
Sure.
Really. It doesn't necessarily need to be alcohol here, but it can be, for me, often it's vaping, or it can be exercise, or it can be achievement, or whatever that is. But whatever that thing is, you're doing it so often because you're so scared about how you feel about yourself or your place in the world that you're often doing it before you even know that you're doing it.
Yeah,
people who, work out like animals, or people that, wake up and the first thing they want to do is have a cigarette, or people who can't function without a coffee. You hear that a lot.
Oh, yeah,
it's like, I can't be who I need to be without that thing. So you're relying on this other thing to soothe the sadness that you have about yourself.
Same as coffee. Like, coffee is coffee just like, my God, I'm tired.
I think it's
bang, punch coffee, I'm on fire.
But again, break that down.
Yeah.
Bang, I'm tired. What's the matter with that?
What's the matter with being tired?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't sleep that well last night.
No. I mean, like, what is the problem with being tired?
I'm about to run a marathon. I'm about to go for a run. I wouldn't mind feeling a bit more, pumped up about that.
Wouldn't mind feeling a bit more. Wouldn't mind having a bit more. Wouldn't mind being a bit more, because being tired's not okay. Because
it'd be a tough run feeling, God, without a coffee.
Doing not well at that thing is not okay.
Oh, yeah,
and I think what everybody discovers really interestingly, anyone who's gone off coffee would tell you this. Anyone who's gone off alcohol would tell you this. Anyone who's gone off anything that they were addicted to will tell you that they didn't need it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I definitely found
people
that
that go off coffee are like, oh, I did not need that.
Yeah, it's surprising.
People that go off vaping, cigarettes, they go, oh God, that's crazy that I didn't need that.
Yeah. But once you break it for long enough,
you get so sucked in this trap. And I think addiction as a concept is just such an interesting discussion, because in the moment you're so hell bent on that exchange that, like, that will make you feel good because it's so reliable for you.
Yeah.
That you think that thing is going to actually fix the sadness that you have. And this is why I think that the addiction develops, because when you go and you reach for that thing, if it's the vape or the drink or the exercise or whatever it is, if you go and reach for that thing, maybe it's just achieving something small. If you go and reach for that thing, you do get soothed. In that moment, you do feel good.
Sure.
You have that release, that quiet, that reliance on that thing creates the soothing that you want.
Sure.
But I reckon what happens is that it gets you so close to actual fulfillment, but there's like this tiny gap where it's like you didn't quite get there. Where you're like, I got close to feeling good there, but I didn't quite get there.
No such thing as full fulfillment.
Well, I reckon there is. And because I think that's the thing that makes you go back for it, is you go like, I didn't quite feel good enough there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have that thing again.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to have that thing again.
But isn't that just life?
And then you start layering on top of the thing that is actually needing to be addressed, which is that there's like this sadness within you that you're not accepting. There's something within you that you're not accepting. And I think that when you actually go off that thing, like you did for 6 months.
Yeah, well, I've weirdly, so I off six months, then I drank, and now I'm almost 2 months sober again straight away. But like I'm not putting any guidelines or rules on it. I'm just going like, it was funny because I went to the pub, had a drink, and it was interesting when the drink was in front of me and it was like, you now can have this. There was this weird I don't know if I want.
Yeah, because you're actually deciding in that moment.
Yes,
you're actually, whereas when you're addicted to it, there's no choice.
You don't think, you just go like, I'm in a pub, drink.
No, I'm
socializing, drink.
I was listening to this podcast on addiction before, and they were saying exactly that you when you are addicted to something, that what happens is you don't actually choose anymore.
No.
You're just in it. You're like, I'm in it and I'm in it again. And you haven't actually, it's really hard to, and they suggest like if you are addicted to something, when you notice that you are reaching for that thing, just stop and just see if you can take like 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
And just ask yourself like, in 30 seconds time, do I still want that thing?
Yeah, sure.
Rather than just following what you feel like you need in the moment.
Yeah, or even just asking the question, just as like, why am I doing that? Yeah.
So I think the other thing with alcohol as well, which is so funny, and which is with addiction in general, well let's stick with alcohol for now, is that when you go, like, it's so funny to think that you know that alcohol's bad for you.
Yeah,
you know that vaping's bad for you.
Yeah, even though like every 2 months there'll be an article that says like, oh, the antioxidants that are in one glass of red wine. You're like, yes, I needed that. I'm going to hang on to that for as long as I possibly can.
My dad says that as well. I was like, guys, enough antioxidants in this. I'm like, dude, yeah, sure, but not in a whole bottle.
It's the biggest load of crap.
It's like when I see someone smoking in a movie, I'm like, great. Well, if Brad Pitt's doing it.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Can't be bad. Look at him. He looks amazing.
Looks gorgeous. There's no standing on his teeth or fingers.
Your little addiction brain is just going like, just clinging to anything that's going to justify the fact that it can keep doing that thing. Yeah. As soon as I meet anyone who vapes or smokes, I'm like, great.
Yeah.
Good on you. We're on.
Yeah. Oh, nice. No. Yeah,
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah. It's like I heard Russell Crowe in a podcast talking about the fact that a cigarette or nicotine is a nootropic, which like it enhances, which funnily enough, I do think there is some truth to that.
That's why Sherlock Holmes used to smoke.
Yeah.
Famously, that was his whole bit. He's like, I need to think.
Yeah.
And I know that because I've listened to it and I've added it to my little file of justification as to why I should keep doing it.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. But what I was going to say is that I find it really interesting, and I had to write this down because this is kind of scary, but is that even though you know it's bad for you, the addictive thing, stopping the addictive thing is scarier than continuing it.
Stopping is, yes, for sure.
But isn't that fascinating? Like logically, you know this is bad for me, but I would rather continue being bad to myself than stop doing that thing and have to confront whatever it is that thing is covering up for me.
Yeah, but that makes sense because let's be honest, the thing that it's covering is terrifying.
Yeah.
Of course it's terrifying. Yeah. And confronting it if you ever go to confront it, will be the hardest thing that you ever do in your life, right? So that does make sense. And the other thing is like the dangers around, because the dangers around, let's just keep using alcohol as an example. Like, okay, so we know it's bad for us, right? It's deteriorating our brains. It's bad for our hearts. It's bad, the list goes on. But like it's not like there's an instant. If every time you had a drink there was some physical sign that your health was deteriorating,
that's right.
I think that would be very different
to
what actually happens, which is like 30 years later or 10 years later you're going to get something and go like, oh, it's probably the drinking.
It's the problem you can't see, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and 100%. Same with cigarettes, same with smoking. You don't have an X-ray of your lungs as you're smoking, seeing the damage that it's doing.
Yeah.
But what you do have is probably a closer visibility on the thing that I'm covering up.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a very real thing that I'll need to address straight away.
And even if we take drugs out of this, I was talking to Lucy earlier about people who are high achieving.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah,
and the fact that like there are so like I know someone who had a health scare recently because of the fact that, I don't really know why, but I do know that he worked his ass off until he was 65.
Sure.
And then had a moment where he was like, gee whiz, I've got cancer.
Yeah.
And I was saying to Lucy, the amount of like doctors and high profile people that he knows, surgeons, the works, they all, like, I would love to see a survey between the amount of people who work as high profile doctors and high profile lawyers, those 15-hour days, massive client lists, whatever, all the money, all the success, all the achievement in the world, who end up having some form of pancreatic or bowel cancer.
Yeah, and the scary thing
it's just like it's like clockwork. It's like retired cancer. It's like, it's ridiculous.
And the scary thought is that there's probably a level of them who were like, the reason I'm busting my ass is because then I'm going to have the money and the house and then I'm going to enjoy it. And they get there and they're sick and they're tired.
But they also get there and they don't know how to turn it off. They're so addicted to the achievement model.
Yeah.
I've been saying this to my dad for years. I'm like, dude, you're retired. Like, how great. And he's tried. Like, he's actually tried a couple of times, and again, way scarier to stop than it is to keep going. Yeah, even if it means that he's exhausted and he comes home every night and he needs to drink a bottle of wine to chill out. It's like, that's easier for me. Yeah. I would rather keep doing that than have to confront stopping here, because stopping is facing up to the narrative of my life that I don't like.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. All that. And also, like, what am I attaching my value to as well?
Yeah.
Like, I saw, like, it's funny, when Dad retired, and my dad's doing really well in retirement now. Like, he's finding little bits and bobs to do, and he's slowing down, and he's doing really well.
Yeah.
Did have a health scare earlier in the year, interestingly enough.
Yeah.
But Dad, early on after he retired, his biggest fear, or the thing that he would dread, would be in a social setting when people would say, "What have you been up to?"
Yeah, well, there you go.
And, he for years and years and years, he had work.
Because your job's your status.
You know what I mean? Different forms of, work, busy.
Your job's who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And without that, you had to go,
yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah,
I've literally had a week of not doing anything. Like, there's nothing of note to talk about, really.
Yeah. Well, he's got the man alcove.
He does have his man alcove, absolutely.
He wasn't allowed a man, what do you call
it?
A man cave.
Wasn't allowed a man cave.
Wasn't allowed the full room.
No. So he got a little corner.
Just got a corner.
Yeah. Where he's got his wireless radio. And he's got I'm pretty sure he's still got, when you were on the front cover of the wellness magazine for Chemist Warehouse,
he's got me up
that
there,
on the wall. Yeah. Just thought it was a great shot. You're in the man alcove.
I'm honoured. I'm in the
consummate male in the male alcove.
So I want to go back to what you were saying before about this idea of drinking socially, casually.
Yeah.
Because like, I have distilled it down into a pretty grim reality.
Oh yeah, hit me.
But I think this is it is an interesting philosophical discussion here.
Yeah.
Where, like, it's kind of like that moment in The Matrix where Cypher is eating the steak at the restaurant in The Matrix when he's sitting down there with Agent Smith.
Yeah.
Right? And he says, Agent Smith's like, what do you want? And he's like, I want to be plugged in.
Yeah.
I want to forget everything.
Yeah.
I know that the Matrix is telling me right now that this steak is delicious. I know that the Matrix is telling me right now that I'm in a beautiful restaurant and I'm hearing gorgeous music. But you know what? Sometimes I realize ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
And this harp like plays over the top of them. It's a great scene.
Great scene.
It's this guy.
The steak looks so good actually in that scene.
Yeah. And I
rewatch that scene. It's like the perfect steak.
And I find this to be a really, really interesting point around addiction.
Yeah.
Because how many of us realize, like, really what I've said just then around the fact that you can't confront your sadness is, I mean, I don't think that anyone watching this or listening right now is not idiot enough to realize that that is the truth. We all know that we're addicted to the things that we are addicted to because they stymie us from confronting something that we don't want to confront.
Sure.
We all know that deep down, surely. Sure. If you don't know that, sorry.
Yeah. Probably the other thing to remember, did you just acknowledge the camera and say sorry? That was a weird break-in.
I was like, sorry, guys.
That was a weird break-in.
I really just wanted to reach out and like give you a hug and be like, I'm really sorry about that.
I think the other thing is that we all have sadness.
Definitely.
So it's okay. Like if you're someone who you think is covering certain things up with whatever thing that you're doing, everyone does that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We've all got something that we do. And it's kind of unavoidable, really. Yes. And again, it might be through something really healthy. It might be through exercise that you're covering it up. You know, the amount of guys that get to the age of 35 and start riding their bike tens of thousands of kilometers.
Why are you pointing at me?
Or doing triathlons or...
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty standard. Like, it's just... You need something to, like, confronting the human condition and the existential nature of your existence is... That's about as big as it gets. So whatever you need to do to deal with that, like, knock yourself out.
Yeah.
But I do think that there is also this other side of it where even if you do know that you're doing it, and let's say you're doing it with something that's damaging, like, you know, alcohol or smoking or drugs or whatever it is.
Yeah.
At what point is it okay that ignorance is bliss? Like, maybe you just like being a bit tipsy with your friends. Yeah. When you hang out with them.
And that's what I was saying before around, like, I think if you're at an unhealthy level of consumption of something, I think that's when it starts to get like, okay, you're hiding something, which is pretty significant that I think is about to explode.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can, if you're someone who drinks once a week and you have a lot of fun with it and it's a great social lubricant, I think that's okay. And because on the other side of it is, let me highlight the dangers of, I think, where I was getting to with, so I had 6 months off and my mission or my goal was to hit 12 months off, right? But that was a really interesting mindset that I got into, which is like...
Oh, that's right. I remember this moment. I was in the studio with you when we just finished survey break for...
Right.
We just finished radio for... We had 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
And you were like... I was like, I'm looking forward to going home and having a glass of wine.
Yeah.
And you were like, I really want to have a drink, but I can't.
Yeah. And it's that.
I was like, mate... You've been off it for 6 months now. Like, surely we're at the point where you've proved to yourself that you can stop this.
And also, I've answered the question of, I felt really good about why I drink as well. Like, it was like, and I'd spoken to you about, like, I want to get into a stage where I'm more consciously drinking rather than just drinking for the sake of drinking.
Yes.
But then I think I was about to fall into another bad behavior, which was, I'm not going to give up.
Yeah, that's right.
I refuse to
Which
give
is
up.
another very, very addictive trait.
It was like, I said 12 months, I will do 12 months.
Yes. And I
as
think
soon
I
as
said to you, I was like...
I was like, this is not the reason
this is
why
now
you
damaging.
did this.
This is now damaging.
Yes.
This restraint thing is now. So you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't.
And that's life, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, life is just, you're just...
Yeah.
You're never going to do it right, but I think you're just constantly correcting and, and again, the big take home for me is just be conscious of it. I think we go through life so unconsciously making decisions.
And that's what I was saying before about the addiction thing, right? Like, can you stop before you have the drink and actually go to yourself, hey, look, what am I doing this for?
Yes.
I actually had a moment with this recently. So, during the month off that I was sober, and I'm the same as you. I had one weekend when I went on.
Where you went, what time?
When I went back onto drinking.
Oh, yeah.
And partying and vaping, and I was like, whoa, that sucked.
Yeah.
And then I stopped. But there's 2 things. So firstly, I made a rule for myself, which was, am I staying here because I can drink or because I can vape? Or am I staying here for the connection of what I'm actually doing?
Oh, you're talking about actually specifically the night out that you had, like why you?
No, just I've now applied that rule to every social interaction.
Oh, yeah, great.
Because it does start getting to a point where the ends justifies the means. Mm-hmm. Where you are, the ends justifies the means. You are staying there just so you can have another drink. You are staying there just so you can party longer because you don't want to face the fact that you might be doing that at home by yourself. That, which is way too confronting for people.
Yeah.
So you go like, I'm just going to stick around, have another drink. People say that all the time. I'll stick around, have another drink.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, are you sticking around so you can have another drink, or are you sticking around because you want to stick around?
Yeah.
And I found it really interesting once I got past that point of like, I'm not going to hang out with people. I can't do that. It's too confronting. Once I started hanging out with people when I was sober, I got back in touch with why I liked hanging out with people, which was terrifying. But, like a lot of the time, so I often play board games with some of my friends.
Yeah, great.
And it was really fun to notice, like, often if the board game finished and there were drinks or other things going around, I'd be like, I'll stick around. But I'm not sticking around then because of anything other than the fact that there are drinks and other things going around. Whereas when I was sober, when the board game finished, I was like, well, we've kind of hung out for a few hours and like the board game's finished now and I might go home. Yeah. Like, I'd go like, unless you guys want to play another game.
Yeah.
Because that's a reason to keep me here. Then I've got something, then I'm connected to something. Yeah. But if we're stopping with the board game, all the other stuff is just, I'm just trying to fill the void of what that was. I had so much fun doing that. I'm now just chasing that dragon, and I'm not really chasing that dragon. In fact, I'm supplementing that dragon with a gargoyle.
Yes.
And
if you keep chasing
a gnarly little gargoyle who's not as good as what the dragon was.
He's a naughty gargoyle. If you chase that naughty gargoyle as well, you're then sacrificing what you're doing the next day. That was another big part of me. Is like, I'm so excited about hanging out with my daughter tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? And like, if I stay here, and I'm late.
Yes.
I'm gonna wake, and my daughter's gonna wake up the next morning, and that's when I'm gonna go, oh,
I hate myself.
And that's a worst
feeling in the world. It's a worst feeling in the world.
It's like honestly the highlight of my day. I'm sure it's very similar to you. Is like my daughter wakes up and I hug her, and that is better than any hug that you'll ever receive.
Yeah.
I often compare it to the hug that you do late at night when you've had a number of drinks responsibly, and then that you'll hug a good friend, right? And don't get me wwrong, that's a great hug.
That's a great hug.
That's when we talk about that connection, right?
Yeah.
You know, if the reason I'm here is the connection, I get a hug with a really good friend. Yeah. I've got that every morning when my daughter wakes up. It's better. It's like that is just like, and so if you are chasing the gargoyle, as you so eloquently put, you've also just got to be, conscious of the fact of like that is now sacrificing something else that I might be doing tomorrow.
That's right. I think, and maybe this is a good rule for drinking or addiction in general, is if you're conscious of the fact that that thing might not be good for you, but you're doing it because you enjoy it, and that's just hurting you, it's your life.
Yeah, totally. Go for your life. Yeah.
As soon as that thing is something that you're doing and you're conscious that it's not good for you, but it's impacting someone else.
Yeah.
That's probably when it starts to become a problem.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it is your life at the end of the day, and you can probably do with it whatever you want to do with it. But if you've got a partner or a child or people that are relying on you, so I think that's a really tricky line, because often people who have got large responsibilities rely on this sort of stuff to make themselves feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
So it's a really slippery slope for those people, because they'll often reach for these things to go like, that's going to make me feel better. I mean, how many high-powered lawyers, doctors, businessmen will firstly get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go and exercise like a mad person?
Yeah.
And then how many of them go home and drink a bottle of wine at night?
Yeah,
like it's just at both ends of the scale, they're like, gee whiz, that's really intense. Need to chill out. So it's not surprising that for those people, the exercise turns into an addiction until they get a soft tissue injury, or the drinking turns into an addiction so that they're drinking 2 bottles of wine a night, because the responsibility grows. And so they reach for more and more release as it gets bigger and bigger for them.
There's a hard responsibility as a friend though as well, and I think that gets interesting to navigate, because you do feel a responsibility as a friend to someone.
When you see them like that, and you're like, hey, you're probably hitting that a bit hard now.
Oh, sorry, no, I was more talking about like when you choose not to chase the gargoyle, or you choose to go home early, because you don't want to continue drinking.
Yeah.
I can feel like I'm letting down a friend.
Oh, yeah, that's
I know that's more in my head than it is actually real. But I think anyone can relate to that feeling of like, I'm ruining the night because I'm not going on. And when you tell someone, generally speaking, I'm going home, generally speaking, that is met with, oh, don't go home. Just have one more. Just have one more. And I think that is, let's be honest, it's that person projecting, being like, well, if you go home, that means I'm looking at myself going that maybe I should go home. 100%. So if I can keep you out, then I'm going to feel less guilty about the fact that I'm going to continue on.
So true. How many times did you go out to like a birthday when you were sort of in your 20s and you were like, oh, I've got to get obliterated tonight because otherwise they're going to think I don't care about them?
And it's shocking.
That is so strange.
That's definitely
so strange. Like, I've got to have an absolute bender so that this person that I love and I've known for 5, 6, 2, whatever it is, but like they're in your life, you see them frequently or infrequently, whatever. I need to get completely annihilated so that they feel like I love them. That is just right off.
Is that an Australian thing?
I think there's a lot of Australian about that.
Because I went again with not drinking, the guilt would start coming around what occasion you were celebrating.
Definitely.
So as soon as it was like
you'd start picking
someone's
and choosing.
birthday or a wedding, it's just like, I'm letting you down
obligated
by not drinking.
Yeah, I'm obligated.
It's mad.
That is mad.
It's crazy.
It is mad
that you would do that, but it is what we do.
And again, if you remove the drinking from that, or you remove the drug taking, or whatever the hell it is that is making you feel that you need to do with that, and if you are in a period of sobriety, you start to realize that thing is you have a purer connection with it when you're not actually inebriated.
Oh yeah.
Like you have on a less of a personal scale, I had this with. So on the birthday, for example, if you rock up sober, you're going to remember the night better. You're probably going to be much better at retelling stories about the person and all those sorts of things. If you can just confront the fact that maybe you're not going to be as silly as you would hope that other people think you are, so that they like you. It's arguably kind of selfish. But I had this on a non-personal level with DJing recently, where I was I need to be fucked up to be DJing. I need to be, because everyone else is. Often if you're DJing at a party or a club or whatever, you're around people and they're cooked.
Yeah.
Right? So you're kind of going in there going like, well, it's pretty easy for me to slip into this and just get into the vibe.
Yeah.
But I went to a party recently. I got there at 10:30 when they asked me to play, and I was playing for 2 or 3 hours, and I got there and I was sober. I was in this sober thing.
Yeah.
I played the best set I have ever played in my life.
Of course, your motor skills are on.
Do you know what I mean? Outside of the motor skills, I realized that the what I was getting out of everything else that I was taking in that time was actually distracting me from the thing that I was loving doing.
Yeah,
which is
sure.
playing music. I was there to play music. I was there to pick songs.
Yeah.
And it meant that I could actually connect with picking the songs. Because the trade-off of being addicted to something, the trade-off of choosing something which is going to dull your mind, is that you don't get to connect to the thing that you want to. There's opportunity cost there.
Yeah,
if you're going to be drunk, you will be slightly more connected to the drunkenness than you will to the person that you're with. If you're gonna vape, if you're addicted to porn, you're gonna be slightly more addicted to the stimulus of watching other people have sex than you are having sex with your partner.
Yeah, sure.
You can't hold both things at the same time. And I think realizing that is the same. And weirdly, it's the same with getting drunk with your friends. You're there to have another drink. You're not listening to your mate. You're thinking about the fact when's my next beer going to come.
Also, the realization that I had, oh my God, so starkly, was that by 2 to 3 hours into a social event when you're sober, oh my God, the conversation gets so shit. It's but you just can't believe it. You're just I can't believe that I usually engage in this absolute tripe that, and it's repetitive. You kind of it gets to 10 o'clock and you're just I'm in a circle here and we keep saying the same thing. Am I going mad?
Yeah, it's really funny.
What you've told this story 4 times. But then it's scary because it's oh my God, when I'm drunk, I don't realize.
Yeah, you got no
I'm
idea.
just tell me again.
You're in an echo chamber.
Start it again. I'm going to tell you the
mate,
same story.
You were saying. It's no, he's been saying it for the last half an hour.
Because the first time I did, early on when I had my 6 months off, I was I was getting worried about people. I was this he keeps repeating himself. I've never realised, but I think he's lost his mind.
Yeah.
But then I realised, I was oh my God.
No, you're drunk.
You all do it.
Yeah.
You're all doing it.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me that when I'm drinking, it's just that's what I'm viewing as a good use of my time or good connection. I don't know if this is good connection here.
No,
this is
it's not, and it's sad. Also, the other thing that you realize is how overt people get with affection or aggression, whatever it is. I mean, this same party I walked into the other night, I rocked up with again, I'm so cold sober. I walk in and this guy who I know kind of well, he's a really nice guy, but I don't know him that well.
Yeah.
Walked up to me and was just like, man, I just want to say to you that I just think you're just such a great guy and I really love you. And I heard you do something on the radio and you were really vulnerable the other day. I just reckon that was beautiful. And I just wanted to say thanks for doing all that stuff. And I was like, firstly, awesome. Thanks so much. Gave him a hug, best hug I've ever had.
Yeah,
and then beautiful hug. But then afterwards, I couldn't help but reflect. I was like, it's really sad that he couldn't say that to me. Unless he was in that state.
Yeah.
Which is maybe also a beautiful reason behind why people drink or take drugs or whatever, is because it also means that they can say those things to people.
They feel safe or confident enough to say it, because otherwise they're so scared of rejection or So
maybe that's one point in the drinking column. Who knows?
Yeah, true.
If that's what's going to get you there. For now, I don't think it's an overall solution. But if a little bit of liquid courage is actually going to help you do something.
Yeah, I don't want to totally demonize alcohol.
And it's like that expression in medicine, just because a little bit of something's good doesn't mean a lot of something's great.
And that bang on medicine. That is that they were probably referring to alcohol.
I think they were referring to administering drugs to someone. But yeah.
Well, potato.
Yeah.
But because it is it's a really nice moment, I think, when you consciously go, I'm going to have a drink with this person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Now I've got a question for you.
Yes.
So there's a realm of this topic that I find really interesting.
Yeah.
Now I'm just vetting this with you now.
Yeah.
Which is, how do you fix or change your addiction?
Yeah.
which I did some work with a hypnotherapist on.
Oh, yeah.
In and around vaping.
Uh-huh.
And the stuff that she told me about it, I found absolutely fascinating. I'm interested to see if you want to talk more about that on the next pod, or whether you think we've...
Hypnotism?
No, like how you approach changing or fixing an addiction.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Me, cold turkey.
Yeah, and that's what doesn't work.
It's working pretty well.
Yeah, that's good. Once you get past a point, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're not addressing the underlying issue that you were doing in the first place.
But, right.
Because you probably
So where has that gone?
probably replaced it with something else. And I think I know the answer to that question. You don't need to say it on the podcast.
I have stopped that too. But I'm trying to think what else I would have replaced it with.
Wow, this is really funny watching you just cycle.
I'm just trying to think. Yerba mate, maybe.
Yeah.
Yerba mate.
What was it? The tunnel vision drug as well? The cocktail.
Oh,
the daily cocktail.
It's unbelievable. Okay. You just need to try it.
All right.
You just need to try it.
That's very good. So look, maybe we will do that next time.
Speak to your hypnotist.
We could get Wendy on. I think she'd be pretty keen.
Wendy talking about, I don't want to be hypnotized.
I can see it. Think of the fear in your eyes.
There's no fear.
Do you want to get Wendy on? She's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh, like seriously, because I find hypnotism fascinating. Mim has actually been looking into hypnotism very, very recently.
It's brilliant, mate. It's brilliant. I'll give her Wendy's details.
Yeah,
she's awesome.
I'm trying to think what.
Sam did some work with her recently as well.
Yeah,
it was really great.
Yes, around the upcoming birth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, maybe we could talk to Wendy about that next time. It's pretty cool.
We spoke to her on the radio show.
We did.
It was a fascinating conversation.
She's great.
You came into work and it was like you were coming off the back of a 4-day bender and you were...
Well, yeah, so that's a tease for next time. She removed momentarily she got me to confront.
Yeah.
And then simultaneously remove the thing that I was sad about within the narrative of my life.
Yeah, that's right.
And I walked into the radio studio like I was on clouds.
You were like a 9-year-old child.
Which was very fun, but also confronting that we were on air. And then poor Ryan Shelton had to do half the radio show with us. And
oh, so funny.
Yeah. Anyway, we can talk to Ryan about that as well, actually.
We could even get a bit of audio from the show to sort of like, because there was a little bit of slurring going on. It was like,
man.
My God. But you're right.
It was wonderful.
God, you were light.
I was happy.
You were very light.
Very happy.
Yeah,
it's very powerful. And I think it's a great way to confront your addiction as well if you're a bit scared about it. Cool. All right. We'll see you next time.
Unreal.
Hooray.